Hey folks, friends and neighbors, welcome back to my attempt at making a hat inspired by the video game Hades. Last time we left off, I had finished the bottom bit of the sigil. Now I'm moving on to the top bit that involves 3 and even 4 colors of yarn at the same time. Here I'm starting to work in the dark red or burnt orange for the bottom part of the laurel wreath. It took me a bit to get going working with 3 active strands of yarn. I definitely had to stop and detangle them several times. I finally got to the part of the hat that would require 4 different strands of yarn at once, and the 4 rows where I was working with them ended up taking me almost an hour and a half to do. Seriously, so much detangling. I ended up taking about 3 feet of space just to make sure that I had enough room to work with. Overall, I was pretty happy with the pattern that I came up with, but as I was knitting, I made some spot adjustments just to kind of account for some of the things that I was seeing as I was knitting it out. Working with 4 strands of yarn at once almost felt like weaving instead of knitting. It sounds like it should be a semantic difference, but it really wasn't. Here I'm working in the last color that I'm using for this hat, this golden color, which will be the top leaf of the laurel wreath. I'll take this second to wax eloquent about how much I love the video game Hades. I think it is honestly a perfect game. The characters are wonderful, the gameplay is really complex and has a pretty high skill ceiling, and there's something about it that just feels new and exciting every time I play. As I moved from 4 strands back down to one, it honestly felt kind of how I imagined taking weights off in a shonen anime would be like. All my hats are 160 rows, and the pattern was just 31 of them, and I probably spent as much, if not more, time on those 31 rows than the rest of the hat. You can see little bits of colored yarn popping up in between the black stitches. That's probably because I'm carrying my floats pretty loosely. If I carried them tighter, the hat would be too tight on my head. Plus, I kind of really like how the effect looks. It almost looks kind of like a gradient across the hat, but very subtle. Here I'm finishing up the last row of the hat. It's kind of funny, but the hats end up looking like a large tube before I seam them up. I'll spare you watching me cast off and seaming everything together, and here's the finished hat. Now I'll finally have something to wear as I attempt my 18,562nd run of Hades, or just when it's cold outside. Like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more, and thanks so much for watching. Bye!